the Apostle John, perfect love casts fear out. So what did he mean in this? Or actually, what context did he use this in? The inspired words of John, Apostle John, in 1 John 4:18 says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts fear out, because fear restrains us. Indeed, the one who is fearful has not been made perfect in love. So let's take a look at what the Bible actually mentions about perfect love. We can find this in Matthew 5:46 through 48. And here it says, for if you love those loving you, what reward do you have? Are not also the tax collectors doing the same thing? And if you greet your brothers only, what extraordinary thing are you doing? Are not also the people of the nations doing the same thing? You must accordingly be perfect, as your heavenly Father is perfect. So when Jesus said this in his example in the Sermon on the Mount, he was telling his fellow followers that if they loved only those loving them, their love would be incomplete, defiant, and defective. So Jesus was saying that they should perfect or bring to full measure their love by including even their enemies. So when John wrote about perfect love, he was speaking about love of God that is wholehearted, fully developed, and is embracing all aspects of one's life. As previously mentioned in Matthew 5 through 46 to 48. Now we can also ask ourselves, why do we need freeness of speech? Here we look at 1 John 4:17. And it says, in this way, love has been made perfect in us, so that we may have freeness of speech in the day of judgment. Because just as the one is, so are ourselves is this world. Here we can see that the context John was using is having fear of us loving Jehovah, therefore having a fear of speech with him when expressing in our prayers to him. Why should we develop a freeness of speech? And how can we obtain this? Well, this comes by developing a relationship with Jehovah, by expressing what is in our hearts when asking forgiveness on the basis of the ransom sacrifice which God lovingly provided for us through Jesus Christ. By developing a perfect love with Jehovah, we can cast fear out. We are very aware that we are sinners and imperfect. So when we approach Jehovah in prayer, we should be perfect in love, which can be gained by having a fully heartfelt, developed love for God. When we think about these words, perfect love and fearlessness of speech in the day of judgment, we can see that freeness of speech is needed when we approach God